Good morning, y'all. Well, it is day 92, and I stayed last night at the 501 shelter. It did storm during the night, pretty hard for about an hour, around 1 a.m., and it rained lightly on and off through the night, so it was good to be inside. We did have a little bit of commotion last night in that we had a couple homeless people showed up and were staying in the shelter. And apparently they didn't get along. They knew one another, and there was a lot of arguing and bickering going on, and a lot of people felt very uncomfortable, and some of the hikers actually left. So yeah, we had that going on. Also yesterday, I failed to mention that I went under the mark where I have less than 1,000 miles to Katahdin. Woohoo! So yeah, that whole mindset that I mentioned earlier is kind of a countdown now. Not how far I've been from Springer, but there's still mile markers. You know, every 100 miles is always one of those mile markers from Springer. But yeah, I'm less than 1,000 miles to Katahdin at this point, so that's a good feeling. Kind of strange feeling, actually. But Jay and I are hiking today, still together, going to a shelter. It's only 15 miles away, but it'd be hard to get 25 all the way to Hamburg, where we are staying in the motel. It's Hamburg, Port Clinton. Towns very close to one another. And we are going to zero on Monday after 11 days of hiking, so that's good. And then I have to start sorting out where I'll be next after that and resupplies, but pretty close to the New Jersey line after that. I think after we get to Port Clinton, Hamburg area, I think it's only 70 miles from there to New Jersey line, so that's crazy. And that's about it. It is a 40% chance of rain today, so we'll see if we get that as well. And then tomorrow, it's supposed to be sunny for the next few days. So that's it for this morning. Let's get going. So we get a lot of questions about hiking shoes as well. And the early hikers of the AT wore leather shoes, including the famous Earl Schaefer in 1948, who was the first to accomplish a through hike from Georgia to Maine. And as you recall, I just received another pair in Duncannon, Pennsylvania, and this is my third pair. Over the years, technology advanced and tennis shoes and running shoes and trail shoes came to the marketplace. Gore-Tex and weatherproofing innovations appeared in the 1980s, and even today there are different reasonings and approaches to hiking with various choices of shoes. Leather still provides great protection, but also holds more water if not weatherproofed, and they're much heavier. And the nylon fabrics are much lighter, but not as durable. In fact, the ones that I'm wearing, I've been getting about 750 miles out of each pair. Most section or day hikers prefer hiking boots, whereas through hikers choose these trail runners. The number one trail runner is the Ultra shoe, which I'm not fond of because it's a little wider toe box and has what we call a zero drop. It's very, very flat shoe. And then the number two most popular are the Brooks Cascadias, which I am very fond of. And for most hikers, they will go through about 3 pairs of shoes during the entire journey, as the rocky terrain and the rainy days really take its toll on a pair. But most hikers will also tell you, in Pennsylvania, with all those rocks, that's where hiking shoes go to die. Hey y'all, well, day 92 has come to an end, and pulled into Eagle's Nest Shelter, and staying in my tent tonight. It is not supposed to rain, and boy, last night we had some serious snores in that shelter. there were two guys, and they were like competing. So I only slept from like 12 to 5. But boy, sometimes it's better just to be in the tent from the snoring standpoint, not just the mice. Yeah, they said it was going to be 40% chance of rain this morning from like 10 to 11 or something like that. But it was raining by 8:30, and it basically rained hard for a couple hours, and then was just a light rain all the way up toward noon. Then it finally stopped, and the sun finally came out around 2:30. But yeah, the trail is just a muddy mess now, just between the rocks and the rain and the mud. And we were ankle deep in mud sometimes, so our shoes and socks are pretty much wasted at this point. But we'll hike in them again tomorrow. We only have about 8 or 9 miles into Port Clinton, and then we'll be able to do laundry. But yeah, 3 days in a row of rain. It starts getting a little old after a while. But it's supposed to be pretty the next few days. But again, short day tomorrow. And the next day I'm definitely going to zero after 11 days. Take some time off, rest the body. But we did hit a very, very rocky section today. And my understanding is that it continues for the next 50 miles like this, and then the last 20 are really, really, really rocky. Just fields of boulders and stuff. So still got, all the way to the New Jersey line, really 70 more miles. And even New Jersey has some rocks in it, but it does start kind of tapering at that point, and the trail should be a lot smoother in New Jersey and up into New York. Because of that terrain and what I understand, I don't know if I can make it to Pawling, New York, which is where I was trying to get off and catch flights and all that stuff. So may have to go back and reevaluate. There's a place in New Jersey called Fort Montgomery, and you can take the train from there into Grand Central Station. And that's about 42 miles before I get to Pawling, New York. So otherwise, I'm going to have to do almost 21 miles every day from here on out because I had to pull back a few days to find a place to stay this weekend because it's Memorial Day weekend. So, yeah, logistics. I'll figure it all out. But there may be a small wrench in the plans. But I'm excited about tomorrow. We just have the short 9 miles and can go in and get cleaned up and have a room for a couple nights. And I'm going to split that room with Alias, better known as Jay Wanders Out. So if you haven't checked out his YouTube, go over there and check it out. And that's it. I'm in the tent. We have eaten, and it is 7:30. So, I'm finished working on my videos and go to sleep about 9 o'clock, hiker's midnight. So, thanks again, everybody, for watching, and we will see you tomorrow for a short day and go from there. Night, y'all.